They say a woman's strength isn't about how much she can handle before she breaks. It's also about how much she must handle after she's broken. But why do our women have to be broken? Why do our ladies have to be considered objects for so many men out there in society? Why is it that before this episode ends, 4 women somewhere in India are going to be raped and thousands more harassed, molested and scarred for life? Why is it a race against time? And with all measures being put into place to ensure a correction, we yet have to get the women of tomorrow ready in some way for this world that awaits them. Hi friends, and welcome to episode 1 of Off the Field with me, Anish. Today, we're going to talk about contact sports and our ladies out there and how they need to prepare themselves with some sort of defense techniques, both physically and mentally. And if you're ever in a situation when you are forced to hit back. This TV series is made with an intention of awareness and concern for our women. We understand that not all men out there are the same, and we do not wish to generalize our opinion. No reference or quote is intended towards any specific individual in society, and we hope and pray that we together can work towards a beautiful tomorrow for our women folk. Anushka, we're coming back to you. Very interesting. You're also an ex-rugby player. You've played in Portugal. That's not where it stops. You're also a national and world champion sailor. Has there been any connect between what you've done in sport that has helped you professionally?
Oh, for sure. I think the biggest thing I've taken out of sports, besides the teamwork and learning how to work with a group of people, is the resilience and bouncing back of losing an event or losing a tournament and being able to learn from your mistakes and taking that forward and progressing and winning the next event. And I think that helps me a lot in my career now, as it does either working in an office or flying an aircraft, is when things aren't going well, it doesn't mean it's the end. You have to bounce back and make things better out of it, make positive out of a negative. And I think that for me is the biggest thing. It's the mind game we all deal with most of the time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the biggest thing, besides, of course, the teamwork and the communication, learning to work with other people, empathy, the resilience and the assertiveness, learning to be assertive with your decisions and, sticking with them and taking them forward.
That's amazing. Pralay, coming back to you, you and your wife, Beena Punjani, happen to work together in a business. Do you believe that if a man and a woman club their strengths, they can achieve?
Yes, I think we are a living example of that because Beena is fantastic as a hairdresser. She's got strong technical skills. She's good at training people, but that's her core strength. Put her in front of a spreadsheet, she's lost. Somebody needs to take care of the business side of things. A business is not just the creative. I mean, you can't be just a great chef and have a successful restaurant. Running the business and the operations is a big part. So, and I'm terrible at hairdressing. I can't hold a pair of scissors. So, I think we have complementary strengths where she can focus on her area and her role. I can focus on my area, and the two together really is a very, very strong winning combination, because you can hire people from outside, but that kind of commitment that you have to your own business is never going to come from somebody who's coming in from outside. So, two of us together, I think it really works.
Right. We asked a similar question to SP ACP Priyanka Kashyap with regards how she and Karthik, her husband, work together at the Goa Police and balance their emotional and professional relationship. This is what she had to say.
So I'd say thank you for the compliment, and I'd say that couples at the end have to struggle and make it work together. But professionally, if you find yourself to be in the same field, it's a great advantage, and as far as policing is concerned, for me it has been a great advantage. I've always found that wherever me and Karthik have been on the same board while say solving a case or being in a law and order situation, it's been a great help, because somehow we always know what the other person is targeting to achieve. So for couples, it's definitely a plus factor, and if more and more couples are aspiring to be professionally together, it's I think a wonderful step.
Priyanka, we would like to thank you again for giving us your insights into this, and we wish you and your family the very best, and thank you for continuing to inspire us always. Karishma, we're coming back to you. I believe some of the trainers that have helped you achieve happen to be men.
Yes, definitely.
Right? So
yes.
you also believe that, a man and a woman working together can create incredible relationships to achieve?
Definitely. It's basically what you need is that men and women complement each other and work at your targets, you know, and amazing things happen.
Brilliant. Anushka, I'm coming to you now. This is your last question. I know you're staring at me with those glaring eyes. You've shared a cockpit with co-pilots who happen to be men. In your cabin, you also have, you know, stewards who happen to be men, and you know, you have women around. Have they played any role supporting you to reach where you are today?
I don't like to define it as man-woman roles. We're there as a crew, we're there as a team, and you do have situations where people question you, oh, you're a woman flying the aircraft, or you know, you deal with that. But at the end of the day, you're there as a professional, and I try to look past that. I try to inspire. I try to help people get through their dreams, girls wanting to grow up and be what I am and do what I do. And I think that, yes, there are differences sometimes, like between any man and woman, there's always differences on the flight deck or outside. But no, we work together. We learn to work around each other and to work as a team. And I think that's the biggest.
A quick message to the girls of Goa who are watching the show and who want to be inspired by you. I'm sure they already are, but what message do you have for them? You can even say it in Konkani.
Okay, I'll pass.
I'm just kidding. Go on.
No, I say follow your dreams, don't give up. And if somebody says you can't do it, just prove them wrong and go for it.
Brilliant. Pralay, to wrap up the segment, it's been incredible hearing how, you know, we've spoken about how men have been this way and men have been that way, but, you know, there's a lot of positivity coming out of this that, you know, if men are groomed in a certain way, they can yet work together. There's one question I wanted to ask you. You know, we talk about women playing contact sport, or, you know, getting into some sort of fitness, whether it's bodybuilding or whether it's karate or it's taekwondo or it's wrestling or it's even rugby. Will that make them actually look manly, or nothing changes there?
I'm just going to give you a very male perspective. I mean, I might get beaten by these two, but today a large part of the attractiveness of a woman, at least the physical attractiveness, is her fitness. You know, a woman who's not fit is not attractive to a lot of guys. I mean, let's you know, call it what it is. But fitness is a big part. Gone are the days when you could be a Sri Devi or whatever and be okay. Now the expectation is that the woman is fit, and there's no better way to get fit than sport. I mean, yes,
in fact, even adding to this, the fact that you all come from a grooming and a background that deals in beauty, does it make a difference even to your profession?
Athletic women are fantastic to shoot with. They're fantastic to style. They look great on camera. I mean, I'm all for women getting into sport, man.
Okay, that's incredible. That's the last angle we wanted to add to the show. We will come back to you with another segment, but we would like to thank you all. I mean, Karishma, Anushka, Pralay, thank you so much for being a part of the studio, and we look forward to welcoming you back shortly.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Welcome back to Off the Field. In this last segment of the show, we will be talking to the makers behind the episode of When You're Forced to Hit Back. With us in the studio, we have Miss Amita Keni, and we also have Mr. Neeraj Prabhu. Miss Amita Keni happens to be a psychologist. She happens to be the founder of Icebreakers. She's also the president of Goa Psychology Association, and you're also a jury on the Children's Court. Mr. Neeraj Prabhu, you happen to be the editor of sports at Prudent. It's great to have you both with us in the studio. We're going to be asking you a few questions behind why we've made this episode and what led to us, you know, discussing the topic of when you're forced to hit back. Ma'am, starting with you, 95% of the women that actually face this, they're troubled, you know, the fact that they're molested or they're assaulted or they're raped, 95% of them happen to know the person who's assaulting them. Can you shed more light on this, please?
Unfortunately, this seems to be true. Yes, it does happen that way in most of the cases. Now, it is happening. Things definitely need to be changed, and they will change when people from our society work towards bringing about this change.
But who are these 95% of the people? I mean, the fact that they know them, who are these 95%?
They're people who are surrounded by them. It could be members from the family. It could be people around their society. It could be people who are watching them when they're commuting, you know, and things like that. So everybody who's around them, it could be anyone who unfortunately has a wrong intention.
So you're saying that the victims are being watched at all times by people within their household and even beyond their household?
Absolutely.
What are the signs?
Things which you have to really take care of. First of all, remember, you have to take care of yourself. All right, and for that, you need to be aware of what's happening around you. Now, At times, you suddenly start feeling uncomfortable, the way someone looks at you, the way someone touches you, the way someone treats you, or the way someone interacts with you on any platform. And again, suddenly sometimes you feel you're extremely comfortable with the way someone is looking at you, touching you, interacting with you, or treating you. Now, both these are reasons to worry. So you have to pause and try to understand what is the intention behind this. This is very important.
So you're saying from the angle of psychology, if someone is feeling uncomfortable with someone and if someone is feeling comfortable with someone,
Suddenly.
these are both reasons to even worry.
Absolutely.
Coming to you, so let's be very honest. We've created a show where women have to hit back someday. They're learning some sort of self-defense, whether it's contact sport or any form of defense to actually handle these situations. She mentions that, there could be people from within the household or beyond the household. Let's talk in general, all right? Would a woman ever be able to stand up to the might of a man?
Anish, being from the sports field, being a sports journalist, it's very difficult to say that whether a woman can compete against men, because on the field, in mainstream sport, we have never seen a woman take on a man in an individual sport. Team sport is different, as we have seen in mixed doubles category in table tennis or tennis and badminton. A team can compete against a man and women's team on the other side of the net, because they can complement each other and strike a partnership. But in the individuals category, a man's strength and a woman's strength, they are a different ball game altogether, and it's very difficult that a woman can compete with regards to strength. However, saying that should not stop a woman or demoralize a woman if she wants to do it and really take on a man, and that should be really good for her.
Right, so ending on this possibility of, a woman showing that, she would have the mental character to maybe challenge a man. Ma'am, can you bring more light on this from the psychology angle? What is it that a woman does learn in, let's not talk about just contact sport, just let's talk about sport. Why is it that a woman, by learning some form of sport, she would be able to stand up to an incident like this, or if she's ever forced to hit back?
That's right. Like, with all due respect to what you said, this was a thought earlier, a thought process that women are weaker than men when you have to face, like the opposition. But truly things have changed, and things are changing, because the reason why you need to be equipped with sports is there are a few things which you achieve. The very first important thing is that sports teaches you to be mentally and physically fit. It teaches you how to be a stronger person, how to respond, how to react, both physically and mentally. And this is the strength which they use on field and off the field. So what we have seen is that when we encourage children or others to play sports, first of all, you are on that ground when you all are in teams. So you have the girls and the boys playing together. You learn to respect each other. You learn to respect each other as a team, maybe your opposition or your own team. So you learn to respect each other. You learn the winning strategies, in the sense is that you only follow rules to win. Okay, you learn to take defeat in your stride, and most importantly, you learn to respond and react to a situation, depending on what the situation is, by using your complete physical and mental strength to win the situation.
Right. When she talks about this reaction, the fact that you get that sort of confidence to react, you believe that tomorrow even a woman athlete, if she does turn around to a man and looks at him with confidence in the eyes and says, we might have never competed as a man versus a woman, will that confidence tell a story?
Definitely. I think it all depends on how you prepare yourself to get that confidence. You cannot fake confidence. So the woman has to really work hard with regards to the fitness training, with regards to the sport that she has been playing. As you say, contact sport is very important for anybody to imbibe and to play from a very young age. And if a girl does that from a very young age, she can definitely have the confidence to challenge a man, because she would know what she has gone through to get that toughness mentally as well as physically. So I think that would be on. Why not?
So I think that the saying when they say you never corner a cat and put a cat in a corner comes true now, because you don't know the reaction and you don't want to actually face that reaction.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. To round up the entire show, why this episode? Why did you as the editor of Prudent decide to come up with a show called Off the Field? Is the show just for sports people, or is there a learning that went through you that you want to share back to the people of Goa?
Anish, being the sports editor of Prudent, I've always covered sports right from my day one, and there are various qualities displayed on the field of sports when the two teams or two individuals compete. Those values are absolutely important in life as well if one has to live a very fulfilling life. So we thought that those values from sports could be lifted and taken off the field so that they can be used used by general public for in their life. So that's why the whole inspiration of the off the field program came along, and it's really turning out to be a really wonderful experience being part of this show, Anish.
Thanks for having us. Thank you both of you for being on the show. To round up, we would like all the ladies to know that yes, it is important for you to learn some form of contact sport, but as you've seen in the segments before, that if you ever are in trouble, remember that there are professionals out there who can help you. But the intention behind this episode was to tell you that your first reaction could count, and that is what could actually land that help to come there and be a part of you and help you to survive and maybe look forward to a better day tomorrow. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Off the Field called When You're Forced to Hit Back. We together can make this a very safe place for our ladies. Beyond the ladies playing their part in getting tougher, we men have an equal role to build that confidence and empower these women to achieve and rise. A very famous quote by a celebrity American, Angelina Jolie, at a recent summit said, "There is no greater pillar of stability than a strong, free and an educated woman." She also went on to say that there is no more an inspiring role model than a man who respects and cherishes women and champions her leadership. We look forward to seeing you for the next episode of Off the Field with me, Anish Kwenim. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Do leave your thoughts and suggestions. I am available on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Anish Kwenim. Also, if you would like to feature in our next episode called Cheaters Never Prosper, a show on how cheating in life, in business, in sport can cause a serious ripple effect, do write to us on the links provided below. And for all you know, you could be sharing this platform with me, telling your story to inspire the world out there. Thank you once again from all of us. Oh, and before I forget, remember, not all men are the same. We leave you with this positive synergy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to all of y'all. So the question I'm going to ask you again is, you all both are sitting here on a bike and suddenly there's a group of girls next to you who's being harassed. Okay? Would you all go and help them?
हय पयलीं म्हणजे ते आतां समज रॉंग वेन एक्ट करता न्ही जाल्यार पयलीं तांचेर पयलीं आवाज करूंक जाय. ते कोण येता ते हॅरेस करपी तांचे कडेन मागीर गेले काय ना तुका ऑटोमॅटीक आयडिया येता न्ही कितें करपाक सोदता ते. आयडिया आयली काय ना मागीर समज जर इफ इट्स रॉंग जाल्यार दिवपाचो पेट तांकां. आनी समज आमचे कडेन कांय जायना जाल्यार एटलिस्ट लोकांक तरी सायडीकच्यांक सांगपाक जाता हे कितें हांगा चल्लां तें पळय म्हणून. नाल्यार मागीर फायनल ऑप्शन इज कॉप्स.
But you all don't even know these girls. You all don't even recognize who these girls are. You all haven't seen them before. Why would you want to help them as random strangers?
तांची फॅमिली आसता. दे ऑल्सो हॅव अ फॅमिली. ना बट आतां समज हे तांच्या बरोबर जाता फाल्यां आमच्या फॅमिली मेंबरा बरोबर जावंक शकता न्ही. फाल्यां फॅमिली मेंबरा बरोबर जालें जाल्यार मागीर आमकां हें करूंकूच जाय मदीं येवंकूच जाय. सो बेटर टू टेक द स्टेप नाव देन लेटर मे बी.
What is your message to men who treat women like this?
It's very bad. Like I don't know how to tell them.
Okay, so boys, I have a question for you all. Let's assume that you all were trained in martial arts. You were trained in karate or in judo or in wrestling or in boxing or even rugby, and you could, you physically knew how to take a man down. Would it help you all if you all actually had to engage in a fight like this and save the woman?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Why do you think it would help you? I mean, would it teach you technique, or what is the reason you think that would help you?
No, we need that technique to meaning fight against the bigger person, bigger elder, meaning stronger person.
Okay, so Mr. Simois, we're sitting here in Goa. The question I wanted to ask you on behalf of a lot of viewers is, right next to us, let's imagine there's a group of girls sitting and, some random guys come and they start harassing them or they start troubling them. What would you do?
Definitely, I will first go and rescue these girls for after being harassed by these youths or so unwanted elements or what you call vested interest person. So first, our duty is not to run away from after seeing such things. We should help them.
Another question I wanted to ask is, you don't even know who these women are. They're not related to you. They're just randomly sitting there. Would you yet go and help them?
Definitely, definitely. Even if I don't know them, I have to help them.
Uh,
They are human beings.
Uh, and moving on, let's say, for example, you have to give a message out to men who harass women this way in public. What is your message to those men?
Now, see, harassment has become a common factor. Everywhere you see, every day, the girls are teased and all these women are harassed. In-laws are harassing daughter-in-laws. So there are so many things. In offices, you see harassment.
So, what is your message to the men who do this?
So actually these men who are, actually they are born to the women, so they should also know this type of harassment should not take place anymore, anywhere in the offices or anywhere, even in the workplace or in the markets or in the churches. I see everywhere it is going on.
I like the point where you say where a man is born to a woman. That's a very important point. So moving on to this last question, which I wanted to ask you. Okay, so let's just imagine that you had learned the art of self-defense. Okay, you learned the art of karate or wrestling or martial arts or even a sport like rugby or boxing. Would it give you more confidence to go and approach these men?
Definitely, definitely. I would have been the first person to risk my life and go and save these women or this thing after when I see such incidents are going on.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sitting with little Sarthak right now. Sarthak, I want to ask you a question. Right next to us is your mom and your maushi. Okay, let's randomly assume, unfortunately, some guys come on the bike and just pull up over here, and they start saying rude things to your mom or your maushi, or they start harassing them. What would you do?
I will tell them to not do like this, and otherwise they don't listen and they come beating, then I will also beat them. Otherwise, something they did for me, then I will call police.
Okay, brilliant. So, Sarthak, moving one step beyond, let's say that's not your mom and your maushi. There are two random women who are sitting next to you, or two random young girls or young, women who are sitting next to you. You don't even know them. Would you still go and help those girls?
Yes,
But why would you help them? You don't even know them.
because it is for the safety, no?
Well done. Okay, Sarthak, asking you a random question. There are men like this in the world who trouble women, right? They constantly trouble women, they harass women. What is your message to them? Why do you think they should stop doing this?
Because boys touching women are not good.
The last question to you is, we're doing a sports show. All right. Now, this show is all about why our boys and our girls should get tough by learning sports like karate, boxing, wrestling, taekwondo, rugby. Do you think it would have helped you if you learn these sports to maybe handle the situation better?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. In what way would it help you?
If they come beating, then we can fight.
Because you would learn the techniques of fighting?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sarthak. I'm walking with Mr. Irish Desh here. You've come for your evening walk. Mr. Desh, I wanted to ask you a question. Let's say, whilst we're going for a walk like this today, we see a group of women or women being randomly harassed by men. What would you do?
The first reaction would be to try to protect the woman and give a telling off to the men that it's shameful the behavior of theirs.
So, you might not even know these women, who are sitting there and who are undergoing this harassment. Would you yet go ahead and help them?
Yes, certainly. I would go out and help them because I would not tolerate such a thing.
Okay. So, asking you another question. There are men out there who engage in such instances where they harass women. What is your message to the men out there who yet engage in such activity?
I would try to explain to them the situation, but I think in that condition it would be difficult to convince them of.
No, rather, sir, the question, I'll put it across to you this way. There are possibly men out there who might be watching the show right now, What is your message to them if they ever want to engage in such an activity someday in the
They
future?
should also participate with me to see that this hasn't happened.
Right. So you believe it's a global collective thing that people need to work on?
It cannot be a single-handed affair at all.
So my last question to you is, say you were trained in martial arts, you were trained in self-defense, through various sports. Would it really help you to handle the situation better?
I think it would certainly help. Yes, yes. Especially in today's condition, I think it's very important that young people should go in for these things.
You think it would help the women to maybe defend themselves?
Yes, certainly it would help because there is too much of things happening here in this country about women. So we want to stop that. And I'm proud of, I was proud of India, but not in present circumstances. As they harass women, they molest women, they violate small children. Where are we? This is my country, but not in this way.
So your message to the women out there and the men watching that self-defense is possibly another way for them to get tougher to handle the world better.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,